everyone, and welcome back to our channel. My name is Jeffy and this is my best friend Android the Chihuahua. Today we're going to be making candles out of these really cute little skull jars that I got at TJ Maxx. They actually came in packages of 2 because they're salt and pepper shakers. So we're going to turn the jars into candles, and then we're going to have to do a little decoration to cover up the tops where they have the S and the P. To finish them off, we're going to put them in these little jars. These are actually leftover from our last video where we made peanut butter pumpkin dog biscuits. If you haven't seen that, definitely go check it out. It's a really cute video. And then when we get to the end of packaging these, I'm going to go ahead and package these with the peanut butter biscuit jars. So the first thing we're going to have to do is take the lids off of these jars. I found a circular hole punch that should be about the right size for these. You don't need one of these. You could use just paper and scissors, but I think this will make them look a lot more polished. And here I just have a piece of paper I found in my bucket of papers that had some good Halloween colors going on. I have some greens and some oranges. So now that we have our circles cut out, we are going to attach these. And to attach them, we're going to use glue dots. All right, now that we have our lids, we can go ahead and set them aside. And the next thing we're going to have to prepare is our jars. So a really cool trick for getting your wicks into the bottom of your candle jars is to put them through a straw. And then just use a little dot of hot glue on the back, and you can bring your jar down over it. Don't use the glue dots for this. I've seen other people on YouTube do it, so I tried it once. And the glue dots, once the hot wax is poured in, they completely lose their adhesion and they just come right off and start floating around, and it's very difficult to get them to sit in there once the hot wax has been poured. And we can go ahead and set these aside. So the next step, you're going to need one of these melting pots. You can get these on Amazon for like $10, and then also a thermometer. And it's really important to have a thermometer because we need to be pretty exact with our temperatures here. When it comes to wax and the oil mixing process, there's a lot that goes into it, and it's very easy for you to have issues with your candle if you pour in the oils either too hot or too cold. Today we're going to do a very simple recipe commonly suggested for beginners because the amount of oil that we're putting in it is quite a bit under the maximum fragrance load that we could be putting into these candles. General rule of thumb for this easy across the board candle making recipe is 1 ounce of fragrance oil to 1 pound of wax. That ends up being about a 6% fragrance load. So I've pre-measured our wax, and we need about half of a pound for this project, so half an ounce of fragrance oil. I'm just gonna dump in our little wax chunks. I'm using 464 soy wax for this project. So we are back with our hot pot of 180-degree wax. And here I have half an ounce of fragrance oil. So we're just gonna give this a good stir and we'll be ready to pour. You're gonna need to attach the wick to something. I usually just use a little stick, popsicle stick, and I have these little clips. They're little clothesline clips. Just got them at a craft store. You're just gonna pour. We have completely let our candles dry, and then we have come back to them. Cut the wicks to about 1/4 of an inch tall. And this is what they look like. They're just white little skulls. And the next thing we're going to do is poke some holes in the top. Go across the outside of the glass. And this is just candle dye. And then we're just gonna take a little bit on a toothpick and draw down into our line. so that is what that looks like. You can really barely see it right now. Essentially what we're going to be doing is heating the top of the glass jars just a little bit so that the wax melts and it can run down. I feel like these are starting to do what we want them to. Okay, so I think you want to heat it until you start to see things moving and then stop. It will keep melting and keep moving after you remove the heat source because the glass is still hot. If you go too long, your swirls will get really muddled together, but you don't want to go too short either. So now we've let our little jars dry completely and we have this really cool swirl effect. When you make a regular candle and you want the top to look better, you usually just run the heat gun over it again. But because we have the marbled effect, I don't want any more heat on top of this. So I have some extra wax heating right now, and I'm going to just drop a little bit of oil in it so that the top of the candle still has scent. And then I'm going to pour just a thin white layer on top of what we already have, and that should settle to be a nice, beautiful top. Really quickly, I just want to mention the person that I learned this technique from. It's another person here on YouTube. His channel name is Standley Handcrafted. He has a lot of really good information on candle making, so if you're interested in going further into the candle making process and maybe getting a little deeper into the different types of waxes or the different things you can do with wax, definitely go check him out. I will leave a link to his channel in the description below, as well as a link to his video on this specific process. So now that we have these completely dried, I'm going to take our little lids and just screw them on. So at this point, you could consider the project complete. However, we have leftover packaging from our last project, and coincidentally, these 3 candles are going to the same 3 people that we made biscuits for. So I'm going to go ahead and package these in the matching packaging, and then I'm going to take one of our biscuit jars and one of our candle jars and combine them into one final gift. So we're just going to place it in the middle with both sides up, outsides in, and squish down on top. Alright, so the bottom 3 are our candles because they're way heavier, and then on top I'm going to be placing our biscuits. And to wrap them, I wanted to find cellophane wrap, but the dollar store near me didn't have any, and I found this really pretty tablecloth. So I cut this tablecloth into 3 different sections. And then take a twist tie. Alright, so just in the middle. Twist tie. Alright, so next we're going to take the plumage up. Scrunch it in one hand. Cut to desired length. It would be really difficult to tie a bow like this, so I'm going to make an M shape and come around so that the hook of the M goes around the neck of our bottle and pull it together in front. And then I'm going to take another one of our twist ties and put them around just the bunny ears. And by doing that, I'll have created a bow tie. Beautiful. All right. These look absolutely gorgeous. I cannot wait to hand these out. Thank you guys for watching this video till the end. A free way you can help support our channel is to hit that like button and subscribe. We'll see you guys next time.